there, fellow Ascension pioneers. I'm back. I'm officially back. Well, consider that like a major event for me. Maybe for you as well. I don't know this. Yesterday I've been peeking at Facebook just for a while before going to bed, and I've seen I've been missed a lot. I've been getting a lot of beautiful comments and I love yous from everyone. So I've missed you too. I've missed everything, although I really was so much worked in what we were doing, you know, getting the apartment, our new place, our new home ready to be our sacred space, to have our energy, because when we moved it was all barren, it was all very naked, so it needed to be done. It needed to be, a lot of work needed to be done. There was a lot of workers and everything, so now it's actually, I haven't really had time to enjoy the place where I moved so much. And today was like the first day that I feel this freedom of actually a work coming to an end, you know, and then another chapter really beginning. And I remember a friend, my astrologer friend, he made a reading for me a while ago, and he said I have a transit in home and organizing a sacred space and building the new home until 28th of August, and this is when we're actually getting ready to finish. So today's my first nature day, really going out just to be with myself, again with the camera. I've missed it so much. I've been feeling like a goofy, playful child all along, you know, talking to myself, going for my run, and then enjoying the landscape, the waterfalls here. And I'll explain a bit more as I go into the video, because this video is not just meant to be, you know, me sharing what I'm experiencing, but also I want to share more globally about physical relocation and what's happening now with many people, because we are really starting our lives anew. It's something really major. We had two astrological events, some would call, but it's not really just about events. It's about the energy that is coming directly from our source. You know, it's coming through as these archetypes, but it's actually pure source energy that is here for us to utilize it to live our lives in the way that we've been always talking about, heaven on earth. And this is it. And for me, where I've moved now, it can be any better than this. It's like one day, you know, when we still had workers here, I went for this run here, but all alone, you know, just needing this to be alone for a while, because I didn't have any opportunity for that, and you all know that we need that. And I just said to myself, could it be any better than this? Could it be any better than this? Because I just how I felt. So the thing is that I want to share more about what this triggers, you know, and these stars of David alignments. There were two. The last one, which was the peak of it, was on the 27th. Again, you know, we have these diamond alignments on the 27th, and 27 was always my number. I don't know if you've been following me that long, but I still keep seeing 27 all along. You know, the day when we were moving, actually, I was stuck in traffic for 2 hours because the Germans were moving through a country back to their region, to their country. There's this tunnel we have, and they go through that. They go through that road, and I was stuck in traffic, just me. The other guys went with the other car in a trailer park, you know, and I was all alone, stuck, and there was a car that I was driving behind with the number 27 all along. And then I come to the building the next day, someone rings a bell that I've parked them, you know, parked their space. I'm like, okay. I come down, and his number was again 27 in this license plate, and it's always so much about this 27. So why is this so important, this physical relocation? Because when we shift in vibration like we did recently, you know, those of us on this path, we're choosing to go with the earth and this higher alignment energy. It's just our physical lives need to match that. And I've been talking about this for a while now, that we're shifting, and so our physicality needs to shift. As long as our daily reality is still not reflecting to us every bit of our soul authenticity, it's still not fully there. We're not fully there in the physical embodiment, because we are bringing it down, guys. We're bringing it here. And a part of my move, you know, I've seen this comment on YouTube, and somebody said that, oh, you're taking a break. And I'm thinking, what? I'm not taking a break. It was 2 weeks, guys. Tomorrow is 2 weeks since we moved here physically. And I was without internet for a while, and before they plugged me back again. And I'm thinking, there was no break. We worked all the time. I was getting to bed, and I was feeling like hammered, like crazy tired after so much work. And physical work it's not so much that, but then the energies, you know, with the 3D people and the workers and everything, and everybody hurrying so much, and it was all so much hurrying, and everybody was rushing somewhere, and there's other people influencing you in that way, and you see how other people still live. But then again, you're bringing your energy, you're bringing lighter energy here. And what I'm noticing is we're getting more physical with how we act, how we are, how we live. So these physical relocations that are happening, they're all over the place. And a part of my journey is always share my own experience, because I do embody this in a way to show through my own examples. So I'm being like a way shower. I don't feel ever was in a role of being a teacher. It's just not my path. And the thing is, I experienced a lot of the things during this move that people are not aware of. You know, some people were saying to me, "Oh, have you moved already?" You know, like it's this flip of a switch, you know, like it's this wishful thinking, and it's nothing like that. It's a very challenging thing, you know. And I met this friend here in Slovenia, and she said to me, "You know, sometimes I feel I can have these things that you have or someone else, and that I can do it, and everybody can live this life, but not me." And I'm thinking, yeah, but you know, a lot of people see this vision, you know, of you, and they project a certain reality upon you, and they think that's all there is, and it's all perfect, and you never have challenges, and this is not true. That is why I'm being so guided and pushed by Spirit to talk about this and share my own experience, because there's a lot of relocations happening because people have shifted their vibration, so they are physically relocating. Maybe some people are relocating to the other half of the planet. You know, maybe they're being with their beloved, or there's a lot of things happening. It doesn't matter. What matters is that this move and this relocation is perfectly in attunement and in alignment with your soul self, with your pure essence, which is authentic and it's original and it's unique, one of a kind. And my soul, as I was awakening so much to my own divinity, I was feeling this elvish nature, because I'm always, you know, I was always driven to go to the mountains, to be in the mountains, to constantly be in that purity, which you can see it surrounds me now. There's this beautiful flow of the water, mountain water stream, and it's all white pebbles and everything is white, and I always loved this white. And when we came to this place, I said, well, I still think, even though we made it like this nice space, that nature is our finest and most beautiful architect, because it's creation, because it reflects something so beautiful that you cannot do with the physical works, like repainting, you know, building furniture, you know, the things we were doing and involved with now. And it's just not the same. In nature, there's beauty, it's just such harmony. Every stone is put in the right place, and it's this orderly chaos. And it's how I like to live in my own sacred space as well. You know, there's a lot of things there, but they're so neatly placed and organized. And my friend who has, you know, come to visit, she said, wow, there's so many things, but it's like a neatly order. And I said, yeah, I've heard that before from other people who have visited, and people have been saying, you know, we invited some people there just to take a look, to see how it is, and they all loved it, because it's the energy of it, the place, because I brought the energy that is within me, and I put it there in the sacred space. Because a lot of people might say, well, it's not important where you live because all is within. But we can't live this way anymore. That, yes, of course all is within, but we came here to live our perfected state. It's how people already lived in previous civilizations that have come to fall. And now we were building that in a new sense, in a new way, in a new direction, in a new life. And we deserve here on earth to live our life, to live our dream, to live our highest potential. We don't just say all is within, but I live in a city and I don't like to. And I live in this way and I don't like to. Maybe you're meant to for a certain segment of time, like it was for me. I was meant to be there anchoring my light, but then a part of me, a huge part of me felt, no, I don't feel no longer resonating there. And I felt so isolated there. And when we came here and we moved here, it's like everything started falling together. I was more involved with the people. I feel the locals are nicer. Everything is more aligned with my soul here. Sometimes I still can't believe it. You know, I go for a walk and I'm looking at this. I'm like, I have a mountain view right through my window. I look and there's the tallest mountains. And I was so involved with the physical work now for 2 weeks, I haven't even had time to notice, you know, because when I'm devoted to something, I need to get it finished, I need to get it done, so then the new stage can unfold, you know, the new segment, the new journey, a new stage. And I'm thinking, wow, is this my view now? And still, a part of me doesn't believe. It's like the ego part is like, yeah, whatever, you know, but the soul is so happy when I go out When I go out of the apartment, especially, even though the apartment is beautiful, you know, and everything's more practical here, and everything is more, wow, I have wireless now, wow, I have this now. It's just so much more in flow with my soul, and it just came naturally. But it doesn't happen overnight, and that is the part that I want to share here. I want to give my example, I want to share my story, and how you yourself, if you're guided to make this physical relocation, can move through it and can move through these energies by understanding why they're there. Let me give you this example. A part of me, a huge part of me, has been feeling this pressure because I always wanted to be in the mountain space. And this whole summer I felt this pressure building and building up. And it started amplifying. I don't know if you know, but we started selling the apartment with the first new moon in Aquarius, which was in February. It was the February 10th, I think. And then we had the full moon in Aquarius, the first one, and then we had the second one now. And I think it was the 20th or 21st of August. So it's funny because the first, like I said, I think in my previous video, the first new moon in Aquarius were all signs of Aquarius, which is about personal freedom, you know, and freeing yourself and being your ideal. You know, the Uranus connection. Uranus is our higher mind, so living by our higher standards and principles through our soul. And it's no coincidence why we had these cycles of movement in Aquarius energy. So the new moon that was in February, we started selling the place and we had our first viewing. And then the second full moon, it was full moon in Aquarius, we actually were signing the contracts. We had the meeting and we were signing our contracts to sell. And then the last one, you see, when we actually moved here. So it's very funny, it was all in cycles. But it was a lot of devotion, there was a lot of challenges, there was so much physical pressures at times, and a lot of people might give up. You know, sometimes people say, don't give up before the miracle happens. Well, that is how it felt for me for quite often now, and there's a lot of times I felt even isolated. Right now we have 14 days, 2 weeks of just doing stuff, and I felt so physical. I had to delve really deep into the physicality of things, how to get things done physically. And I felt, oh gosh, I'm plugged off my source, but I wasn't. I never was, because I was always guided. This is an illusion, you see, that we're plugged off if we don't just sit and meditate and go out. This was a challenge, but it was a very challenging phase that leads you to more personal freedom and more personal empowerment. And don't give up. And don't think it's so easy, because it looks, wow, I moved now. I can believe it. It's finally there. But think of the times, how much time I've been saying that I'm moving. It's been, probably a lot of people have been thinking, when is she ever going to move? She's always talking about moving, because it's a process, you see. It was a difficult process, and it brought a lot of expenses, and it brought a lot of things that we just said, oh gosh, are we going to be able to pull it through, and money-wise and security-wise and all those things, and we're just going to keep pushing through. But the whole thing is about this trust that it's okay, it's going to be taken care of, because I'm being authentic. I want to do those steps, and it's challenging, but these initiations will bring me to live my dream in the physical. I'm not just going to be one of those people who's going to keep saying, well, all is within, but I don't like my life. So why do we say all is within, but then we don't like certain parts of our life? We need to embrace all parts as one, but then it doesn't mean I embrace them, but I don't act upon the guidance that I receive about the changes I want to make. You see, we need to start acting upon the guidance. It's like my friend who visited me here quite often. She was helping me a lot, so thank you. If you're watching this video, you know who you are. And she's been helping me a lot, and she said as well that she has all the knowing and everything, but she needs to make action steps. We need to start living our guidance, you know, and this is it. That's why this whole phase from winter to now until the end of August, it's going to be probably my birthday in 2 weeks. You know, my birthday is September 15th, and it just, I wanted to be at peace by then, you know, all settled down. And the thing is, actually time moved fast, because we're losing sense of time. There's no more time now. For a lot of us, there's no time. It's just certain devotion of energy that goes into certain segments that we feel guided to, you know, to participate in. So this is changing. The structure of this is changing. Our consciousness is totally different now. And the thing is that why it was easy for me, although it wasn't easy, is because I always keep prevailing. I always keep persisting, you know. I'm very determined to set upon, you know, to act upon what I set upon for myself. That's how I'm gonna verbalize it in the best way I can. There was a lot of challenges as well. Like, for example, at the end, there was a lot of unexpected payings we needed to do, and expenses that we didn't you know, we weren't told, but they came anyway, and with the workers and everything, there was a lot of money that we didn't think about. So we actually went to the extreme of our maximum negative limit in our bank account. So it's kind of challenging because we just have to trust. But one night I had this dream about getting an envelope from this stranger and getting the money, and it was, what it said there in the envelope was for my situation, and it was this person who was giving envelopes to everybody. He just wanted to make people happy because he had money, he had everything. So he was traveling the world and he wanted to make people happy. So he had these envelopes, and they randomly came across to the right person who needed a certain envelope. Not everybody was getting money, but I remember I was sitting in the first row and the envelope just slipped towards me, and it said for my situation, and I'm like, oh gosh, I can repay everything and all the negative limits and everything, and I was just really excited. But I felt that I need to do this, I need to pull it through, because it's once in a lifetime that such a change comes, and it's maybe you're gonna have to pull up some last resources, and maybe never in your life, like it was true for us, you never went in your negative balance state, you know, in your bank account, and you never did this, but now you're like, are you gonna trust that even though you do something you never did before, you're gonna be supported? So moves like this sometimes can be very challenging. They can bring a lot of confusion even, you know. Sometimes you think, oh gosh, you know, you're doubting yourself. Maybe you're fighting with other people because you're so nervous because you're just being in the physicality all the time. You know, sometimes it's a lot of things. You're under pressure because, you know, I've noticed that it wasn't even my pressure, but this like demands from other people, and everybody was always in a hurry, and I'm thinking, gosh, why can it be like this? But we need to adjust to the frequency of others by not being reactive, just knowing that it's not our energy, and I've been talking about this before, but still trusting that it goes through divine flow. Everything, you know, everything goes through divine flow. But trust me, the situation that I've been going through since last February, even before when I started contemplating about it, there was a lot of twists and turns in between. You know, in the beginning I thought something, and then I thought something else. Or maybe, you know, I spent a lot of hours on the computer looking at advertisements, and there was so much work behind the scenes that people don't see, and they think, oh, she was talking about moving, and she moved, and that's it. Sometimes, you know, things in this physicality where we are now take a lot of devotion. I don't like to say work or time or energy. I like to say devotion because it's more sacred. We're devoting ourselves. So we're saying, you know, this is called the sacrifice. And the sacrifice oftentimes has a negative connotation to it. Like, oh, you made the sacrifice, oh, it's negative. But it's not like that. Sacrifice for me means that you sacrifice your other maybe goals or demands or whatever, you know, visions, for some other vision maybe that's a bit bigger to you or more needed in that time, in the now moment, that's more purposeful for you in order for you to be somewhere where you need to be. So you kind of put other things aside, so you kind of make this sacrifice. So it's not negative, it's about devotion, and everything is always about devotion. So when you're moving and physically relocating, sometimes this will happen. Like, for example, like I said, this person said, oh, you're taking a break, you know, time to come back to work, Missy. And I'm like, nobody's going to tell me when it's time to come back to work, because I don't, first of all, I don't consider this work. This is way showing. This is me being. This is beingness. This is me just sharing through love, and a lot of people is noticing that. And I keep being overflooded with emails that I don't always have time to reply to now, you know, especially because I was without internet. But I do attend to every email that I can. But it's not about that, you see, and it's also not about, how I would call it, some people would say, you are moving now and this is a separate part of you, and then you're coming back to Ascension Pioneers and doing what you do online. And it's not true, because I said numerous amounts of times, and it's not just me saying it, look at other Ascension guides if you don't follow what I'm saying. And the thing is, we are our purpose, so our soul path, our soul authenticity is our purpose. It's not what we do. So what I'm doing with Ascension Pioneers is not my purpose. It's one tiny segment of what I do within my beingness. And my moving, it's not a separate part of it, because when I'm moving to a place that is with a higher resonance with my soul, and everything's more aligned, so it's one and the same. My moving is my work as well. It's all connected. You see, we're in unity now. We're not separating different segments of us anymore. So physical relocations, the first thing that they're dealing with is you, when you shift your vibration so much that you're just eager and devoted to just move energy, and you're moving it until you really feel utter peace. Utter peace, you know what that means today? I've been looking through my window and I'm looking at my mountain view, And I don't have any more pressure that I always had. I need to go to the mountains, I need to climb this one, I need to go there, I need to go there. I was always searching for something. And now I'm looking at them and thinking, I'm living here already. I live here. I'm gonna go to the mountains tomorrow, probably because I need a day just for myself. Just for me to tune back to my spirit self completely and to visit my mountain elves. But they're here as well. And I have to tell you that there's a lot of large here, and you can see the end of the video when I mentioned that. And the elves being really associated with that energy. And there's so much else here. And I have to say, I know I did move back to my true home, which I was always searching in Rivendell. It reminds me of Rivendell, where the elves live in Lord of the Rings, if you've seen the movie. But like I said, I always had this pressure when I was living there before in the city, that I need to go to mountains, and I needed to always go and move my energy, and it was a part of my purpose because I was moving energy. But now I feel I've come to this point. It's like this huge threshold, and I was getting a lot of rebirth messages and cards even. And I've seen that, of course, it's different now. I'm looking at the mountains, I don't feel pressure. For example, it used to be like a sunny day, and I felt pressure. I'm not in the mountains, it's sunny, and I'm not in the mountains. I felt a lot of this pressure in my life because I wasn't in my authentic environment. I was in the city. So it had a purpose as well, because if I didn't have that drive, we are not to negate those feelings that we have, because it's working with the feelings that will get us to the stage where we need to be for our highest soul potential. Because if I negated that, I wouldn't do anything about it. But I acted upon it with lots of patience and trust that it will unfold in divine right timing, perfect timing for me and all that is. Because I am one within all that is already. I'm part of it within the divine plan, you see. I'm not separate from it. No one is. So now I'm looking in the mountains and I'm feeling, I don't even have that urge, that desire. I know I'm gonna go, but I don't feel this anymore. So today I've been running and finding the sacred spot to record a video, and I'm just starting feeling tearing up in my eyes, like feeling this immense feeling of gratitude because I have let go of this feeling. I didn't even try to let it go. People say, try to do this, try to let go. No, it happens naturally, because when you know how to work with yourself, when you're acting upon your guidance, things happen naturally. It's just one day you wake up and you're like, oh, the feeling is gone. Wow, thank you. Wow, I feel such gratitude. And this is how it felt for me. I no longer feel the pressure, because when I live in my sacred space, I'm surrounded by trees, by mountains, by gardens, by beautiful tiny wooden houses. And it's just, the place it's beautiful, it's just, I don't know how to say it. It's just really, my mom had this guidance for a while that when she's going to be moving, it's going to be like a resort, like going somewhere for a holiday, not just moving house, but going somewhere in a holiday. And this whole thing, this building, it's a tiny building. It's right next to our alpine resort, to this hotel that overlooks the tallest mountains. And yesterday we've been talking to a neighbor, and she actually shared the history of this place. The health business, they actually built this I think it was for the workers, and the other one was for the children, and this one was for the children, and it has a very beautiful history, this place. I was all excited because the guidance came, and it's connected with health, so it's healing and all that, and thinking, wow, it's beautiful, the energy, how it was built. And thank you, guidance, for bringing me messages about this so that I can know where I move. And the way it's located, it looks like you're in a retreat, and I feel like I came on my eternal holiday. And I've been showing, via webcam on Skype, and one of my best friends, I've been showing the place, and she said, wow, you're living like in an apartment block, and like in an apartment house, like a holiday resort house. I'm like, yeah, it really feels that way. It has a very comfy energy to it, and it's just beautiful. And I never, I'm gonna be 30 years old now, and I never had a big room. I always lived in confined spaces, tiny spaces, and for the first time in my life, I'm like, yay, I got my big room, and I'm 30, how long did it take? But, it's just every day, no matter how much work it was, and now when it's getting done, it's being finished, I'm just sensing such gratitude. And it's like my ego is catching up and getting it. It's like my personality is like, okay, I'm getting to it, I'm finally here. I've been envisioning it for so long, and sometimes when you not want it, but when you desired something for so long, and you felt this is the frequency where you belong, and then you've been so patient and waiting, and then it happens, For the first few weeks, you probably won't even believe it because you need to ground yourself to that place. So anyway, this is just my experience, but believe me, it was not peachy at all times. There was a lot of stress-related things too, and I told you, with the working with the agencies and the people involved and the workers and a lot of three-dimensional energy, but you are pushing through, you're breaking through that. And yesterday was the first day when I took my notebook. I will share some of it when I have time. And I was just channeling. I was getting sentences through rhymes. I feel the elves work this way. They speak to me through rhymes. And it just was writing simple sentences, you know, and it's the experiences in our lives that actually get us to break through the energies, and it's all within already. Maybe I'm going to share some of those sentences on Facebook and my page. But yeah, this is it. I want to share this especially because a lot of this is happening, and even before when I was sharing, a lot of people were saying, I'm moving too, I feel I need to be somewhere else. And all those of you who are still feeling this but are afraid to take those action steps, you know, maybe the tiniest thing that you can invest today in this now moment that will bring you one step closer, because it is all aligning with steps. It's not like one day I woke up and I said, I want to move, and the next day I moved. You know, like people say, oh, you moved already. It's a process, and everything in creation is always in the process of becoming. It's always eternal becoming. You know, this is the part of us that is in the individual part, unique essence of us, of who we are, and it's the eternal becoming. We're already one, we're already spirit, pure light, but it's the creation part that is in the eternal becoming. So things take time, things take devotion. It's the journey that is the beautiful part of it. You know, I remember when we were painting the walls, and I was thinking, I'm painting them, but maybe 1 week after it, I won't be in this energy anymore. I'll be somewhere totally different. So enjoy this moment. Even if maybe you're not liking it, enjoy it. It's maybe the last time you do something like this, in this way. So it's all about this becoming, and every stage of the journey is important. Like I said, it's not like a separate thing. When I'm moving, being in this energy, I'm not working otherwise, I'm still working there energetically because I'm still being my purpose at all times, whether I totally don't do things online and talk to people or not, you know, whatever. It's always one thing. The purpose is who we are. And if you're feeling those desires and, you know, pushes to shift, to move, to relocate, whatever, maybe in the tiniest of form, maybe just the physical place doesn't suit you anymore. It's just the vibration that is important, that it is aligned, because I've said this many times, it's the physical reality that we're transforming, because in spirit it already is this way. We already are this in spirit, but we came to be the physical beings that we are, to bring this, to bring divinity into matter, and then to merge it, and then to create something completely new, which is what physical ascension is all about. So this is this chapter in my life, and there were other things, you know, that I could be sharing and talking on and on about all the things and errands that we have and blah blah blah, but you know what, at the end of the journey, when you see the beauty, when you see what you're surrounded with, when you see what you created, because when we're tuning into source, we're always tuning into creative life force, to creative energy. And when we're not being creative, we're not being self-expressive, so we're not really living from our soul. We're stagnating. And even getting your sacred space brand new and getting it done, and even if it's physical, it's still creating. It's still creating. You're creating it for yourself. And I've noticed that no matter how much of this you have, at the end of it, when you see the beauty around you, when you do the, ooh, now it's time for me to just pause and enjoy and look at the view. Nothing else matters. It's like, oh, it was hard. It doesn't matter anymore. Oh, it's challenging. It doesn't matter anymore, because what I said to my mom yesterday was, you know, Mom, we're flat broke in our bank account. We're like, I don't know what's gonna come. I trust it will. I said, we're like flat broke. We have nothing there, but we have everything here, and here is what I meant. And this is the beautiful part. When you come that far, it's like nothing else really matters. This is the huge shift that we are giving to ourselves, the gift, the blessing that we're creating for ourselves, when nothing else really matters. You've walked the journey, you've come this far. It's time for you to live a renewed life and purpose that you are, by your authenticity that you kept revealing for so long. Everybody was talking about healing, yeah. Now it's revealed. Now you gotta live it. Now we have to live it. There's a huge part of me that doesn't know how I'm going to do things here, but it's a mystery, and I'm excited about unraveling it every day. Every day I might do something different, and I'm so excited because I'm brand new here, but there's people coming with new guidance, with new ideas, how I'm going to get organic food, how I'm going to shop, it's a totally different life, but I love it. I love
that when we drive somewhere, we're not driving through the city, we're driving through these beautiful places. And it's so new to me, but at the same time it's so old and familiar because it was always inside me already. So this is the feeling when you're so in such gratitude for it, and when you feel humility towards it, because to be humble means to always know that you're at a certain stage, but there's always going to be more, because everything is about this eternal becoming, and the spiral of spirit goes round and around. What I've channeled yesterday was, what was once lost can now be found because the spiral of life continues to go round and around. Something like that. It was just like this beautiful card that I received with the, you know, with the spiral of spirit, spiral of light, you know, like a shell of the snail, you know, you see from the sacred geometry patterns, was going from someone's heart. I just felt very like this emotional part of you, something that was so dear to us is returning to us. It's about the emotional apparent loss, but it was never really lost. It's just we're revealing it now, and it's becoming, and we're anchoring it. And it's sometimes, you know, the energies have been so intense lately, I cannot explain it. I felt dizzy half of the time. My legs felt like heavy, like from lead, you know. But it was a lot of anchoring in the positive sense, and the meaning of turning things, pushing them forward in a new way. And then just, like I said, it's time to sit on a bench and just view what you've created. I was doing for the entire year, ever since winter, and cleansing the old so I could move, and then doing all the processes and going through them. And now I feel, oh, now it's time to just sit on the bench and look at what I created, because eventually when the creator creates, or when you do a painting, you create a painting on a canvas. You don't just, you know, you don't just mail it to someone right away. You look at it from afar and you go like, ah, so this is what I created. This is what Source created through me. So this is the part of the journey that is brand new, that begins right now. And like I said, if you're one of those who's also relocating, you know, maybe write to me, ask me, share your challenges with me, whatever. I'll be happy to help and tell you how I went through them myself. I'm always happy to share, and I'm always happy to assist those in need. There is truly no need, but you know, guidance always gets us what we need, so you know what I mean. And this is it. I'm gonna go enjoy my meditation now for a while. Just take some time for me, and I'll see you guys soon. And I'm happy to be online again. It might take some time for me to get accommodated again. Accommodated. This is the word I was looking for. I had the sound here somewhere, so it can disturb me. Anyway, guys, look at some of the sharings that I'm sharing as well, with the video clips from my nature places, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. Okay, guys, so this is the first observation point for the first waterfall here where I live. You can see this beauty. And this is like almost right next to my house. It's so close and it's really beautiful. And you know, you can see it from this point, and there's another observation point there when you could get, you know, flow of water in your face and all the electrons and everything, you know, the ions, the negative ions that are very good for us. And up above, you know, there's just mountains. There's like beautiful bridges leading to the other one, the other observation. And then you have another route that leads to the second waterfall, which I don't know if I will visit right now, but who knows when. It's not a lot of walking, but today I'm just focusing on just being, you know, because I'm resurfacing after such a long time, you know, and the almighty rocks, and it's all just so beautiful. I wish the camera had a wider view. And there's larch. No, there's not larch here, I'm sorry. But there's a lot of it here, the tree. So yeah, there's larch here, I'm sorry. And I was just pulling this card from my new Tree Angels Oracle deck, and apparently larch is connected with the elvish energy and in the mountains, and it's just me, you know. It's like I've walked home. I have returned to my Rivendell, which is like where the elves live in Lord of the Rings, if you have seen this movie. So I wanted to show you the other one, the other observation point, because it's different, you know. If you see it, there's many. Yeah, this is like pure Rivendell, isn't it, if you've seen the movie? So guys, this is where I live now. Can you imagine? It's no more just hiking. It's actual place of residence and anchoring of the sacred space here, which is, it's fantastic, so to say. You can see a bit of it
there, and we will visit it right now. And I'm walking as fast as I can with my camera in my hands. I gotta watch it because I only have one. So I'm so excited, you know, being outdoors after so much work we've spent on the apartment and making it like a living sacred space. And okay. So here it is. Enjoy. Okay guys, so here's the second tour. When you come to this lodge here, there's people here by the waterfalls, and you have mountain view all the way. You know, there's some trees in between, but these are all mountains. The tall ones, the tall babies. You see, they're like everywhere. And now I want to guide you to the third view. So it's just a surprise. Oh my gosh, guys, look, they made it look like tiny mushrooms. Do you see? They made the trees that are chopped down look like tiny mushrooms, and I just needed to record this. I was like, how cute is this? Look at this, tiny mushrooms. Oh gosh, and I need to show you something else. There's a tree of peace here, is how I call it. I remember when visiting this, even as a small girl, I loved this tree, and it's called her 9 daughters, you see? It's in Slovene. No, pardon me. She has 7 daughters, and 7 is a magical spiritual number. It says mother tree and her 7 daughters. It's just so beautiful. There's cows there mowing their lawn. There's like this little church. And there's this beautiful white water stream, which I'm showing you next. Okay guys, so here we are. There's a lot of this here, you know. This white pebbles, mountain, river, stream, beach. It's just, this is everywhere here, you know, when you're walking. So you can find your own little corner and make it your own little sacred heaven on earth with a mountain view in the back. And I'm gonna choose my own now. And it's just beautiful, you know. You're walking like this, and what you can do is, I'll show you. You can draw hearts. You see, you can draw hearts. You can draw hearts in the sand. It gets very sandy at times. So I'm gonna go somewhere there. I can't really record a video right next to the water because it's too loud, but I just wanted to show you. You've seen some of it before from my June videos, remember? When I was anchoring the energy here, and now I'm actually moved here. So what a coincidence. And in spirit truth, there are no coincidences. There's only synchronicities. So I'm gonna go there beneath my mountains, and I'll see you there in my video.